Hey guys, it's me. It's Queen Offset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the little bell that's next to it. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Pass it on to somebody else who might like it, and leave us a positive comment in the comment section. And don't forget to stay to the end of the video because I'm going to do two of my favorite comments from the comment section again today. I'm going to keep doing this because I really enjoy it and you guys seem to like it too. So every video I'm going to drop two. All right, so someone asked me to talk about Aquarius. This woman said that she's in a relationship with an Aquarius guy. And she said that she noticed with him and some other Aquarius that she knew when she was younger, that some Aquarius have the tendency to cry when they're angry. And she thought it was really weird. And she was like, I don't get why they cry. She was like, they're not sad, so why do they cry? And I was like, you know, Aquarius are very weird with our feelings. I always say I'm emotionally awkward. That's how I explain it to people when they ask me. I'm like, I'm emotionally awkward. I'm working on it. And sometimes we're feeling an emotion that doesn't go with another action. So we're mad, but we're crying. You know, so that's one of those times. Aquarius have a lot of contradictions. We're this, but we're that. We're that, but we're this, you know. We have a lot of contradictions, and that's just one of them. But I'm going to tell you, I know for me, I'm an Aquarius who cries when I'm angry. Obviously, all of us don't, but many of us do. And I know for me, what happens is that it is this heat. I don't know about you guys. When you get mad, do you feel heat too? I feel this heat, and it starts at like my knees. And I can feel it, and it just rises up. I feel it. It feels like steam or real heat. I can't see anything, but I feel it. And I don't know, maybe you guys notice this too, or maybe it's just me. In my head is always hot. All up in here is hot. And I guess it's the blood rushing up or something. I don't know. But whatever the case is, I know it feels like all this heat rushes up, and then I'm holding it. I know for me, because when I'm angry, I'm holding the anger back because my temper is awful. And if I let the anger go, only God knows what I'm going to say and do. Well, I do know. And it could get me arrested. So I hold it. I hold it back. I just hold it. And while I'm holding it, I start crying almost every time. So if I'm shaking and crying, you know I'm holding back the urge to kill someone. That's basically what it is. And I think for me, and maybe many Aquarius are like this too, we usually, when we get angry, it's not usually always the first time. Like somebody might have done something to us several times before we actually get angry about it. So by the time we're pissed, it's a buildup. And this is why I try not to do this, but it keeps happening. I try not to do this. I try to deal with things as they occur, but it doesn't always work like that. I think a lot of times something happens and I just blow it off, and then I just blow it off, and I just blow it off. And then one day I can't blow it off no more because it's happened so much and there's this buildup. And those are the times when I cry. I don't cry every time I get angry. It's just the times when it's this build up and I'm pissed, you know? So I'll give you a perfect example. Not long ago, I had this associate that was an Aquarius. And he did, in the course of us talking to each other, he did several things that were psychotic. Like straight up just like, you know how somebody tells you they have mental health issues? And you like, oh, okay, you know, I got you. But then one day you see their mental health issues is not the same as when they tell you. Like if I tell you I got abandonment issues, or I tell you I'm bipolar, or I tell you that I have, you know, something like that going on, it's one thing to hear it from me, and it's another thing to see me have an episode, okay? So he had several different times when he did some shit. And I was just like, this, you know, the kind of thing that was like weird, just like something's wrong with you. Like you knew it, but you see it, you know, because he had told me about his issues, but to see them is totally different than to hear about them. So the first time I ignored it. I straight ignored it. I didn't even speak on it. I just was like, all right, and moved on to the next thing. I totally detached from it. I did a very Aquarian move. I totally detached from it and just moved on. And I think I did that because I liked this person and I was hoping that he would, you know, control himself, you know, and we could continue at least having somewhat of a friendship because I knew the friendship wouldn't last long. But I was hoping that it would be at least cordial. That's what I was hoping for, a cordial interaction. So the first time I totally ignored it. The second time we spoke about it. You know, it was like, okay, this happened. Let's not do this. You know, it was one of those kind of things. And we both spoke about it, spoke very civilly about it, and was fine. The third time, and it might not even been the third time. It's probably just the third time that bothered me. Because he did a lot of stuff that was weird. That some stuff didn't bother me or make me angry. Some stuff just made me uncomfortable. But these three things made me mad. These three things made me want to choke him out. So by that third time, I really wanted to beat him up. The second time, I wanted to hit him. Seriously. I really wanted to hit him, but we're in two different countries, so there was no chance of that happening. But my mind was like, slap him, just, and I was like, no. Telling my mind, no assaults, calm down. And everything went back to normal after we talked, to a certain extent. I can't really say it was normal. It moved on, I'm gonna say, because it never really went back to being normal. From the first time, I was watching, like, I don't think this is gonna work. I was watching, you know, just waiting for, I guess I was just waiting for him to do something bad enough that I could dip, basically. And he finally did something that irritated me enough that I blocked him on everything. So that third time, when he did whatever the third thing was that pissed me off, I was really, really angry. And I had the buildup of all the other times when I was angry. The first time I had kind of ignored it. It was really from that second time. That second time I was really pissed. So from that second time and that third time, I was so angry. And the buildup happened so fast. So I was sitting here talking on the computer. And one of my buddies, who's a Libra, was like, are you okay? And we started to chat. And as we started chatting, I was crying. And I was just like... and it was like coming down my face, and I was just, I was so angry. And he was like, are you okay? Because most people that know me aren't used to me being angry or crying. Most of the time I'm chilling, I'm happy, I'm bouncing, I'm looking at crystals, you know, I'm reading books, I'm talking on the phone. Since I've been in Costa Rica, I think I've been angry like 3 times, you know, maybe 4. And most of them was dealing with this food. So he, the Libra was like, are you okay? And I was like, just breathing. And I was like, I'm going to be fine. And so me and the Libra sat there and talked. And I love talking to Libras for this very reason, because he talked me down. You know, he talked me away from the homicide. And we talked, and that was it. That was pretty much it. After we talked about it, I released it. I let it go. I did my crying. I did my anger. You know, I just let it go. And then by the time this person resurfaced a couple of weeks later, I don't know why, I had left a message the day this happened, and a couple of weeks later, he decided to hit me up. Because what I said to him was, I'm sorry about the way I responded to you. Because I should have responded better. I wasn't sorry about what I said. Fuck you. What I said, I meant. But I was sorry about the way I responded. I should have responded more maturely. But it didn't. I basically just told him he was an idiot and got out of my face. Like I said something to that effect. I didn't remember what I said. It was something. It was so quick. It came out so fast. I don't even remember what it was. And then 2 weeks later, he responds to that message with some stupid stuff. So I just blocked him so I didn't have to worry about him no more. But it was just like, that was one of those situations, one of the first in a long time, where I was so angry that I cried. So it's very common. And I think that for most Aquarius, the ones that are like me, it's because of the fact that they have let that shit build up. They've allowed it to. And when I was younger, I would let things build up much longer than that. This is just some fly-by-night dude that I was cool with. I'm talking about, like, remembering times when I was married, or remembering times when I was in a real relationship with somebody, and I would let things build up. They did something this day, they did something the next day. You know, you just let things build up. And that's how I learned as an Aquarius, we really should not do that. We really need to address things when they happen. Otherwise, this is one thing, you know, crying is not that bad, you know. Our temper can also snap out. We could actually do some damage. So that's why Aquarius cry when they're angry, because they're holding back the urge to kill someone. And at that moment, they're losing. At that moment, the urge is winning, you know. And you're like, oh, you know. And you feel like you're going to lose control. So if an Aquarius is angry and crying, leave them alone. Just leave it alone. If you can't soothe them or talk nice or bring them down, because the smartest thing to do is start talking them down, because they're already, if they're like me, they're already talking themselves down. So the smartest thing to do is help with that process. And if you can't, just leave it big. Leave the Aquarius alone and let them deal with their emotions. All right, so now I have 2 comments that were my favorite. The first one came from the Comical Canadian. The Comical Canadian leaves messages often, actually. I've seen a couple messages from him, like 4 or 5, I think. And I don't know if it's a him or a her. I think it's a him, but I'm not sure. And the Comical Canadian said, amazing content, dude. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate your comment. 2, Miss Mary Thibaudet. I think it's Thibaudet or Thibaudet. She said, I understand emotions. Very emotionally intelligent, but being soft gets me hurt a lot. So I don't do it much. Okay. So she's saying that she is actually emotionally intelligent, but I'm taking it that by being soft, you mean showing emotion or being in your emotions, or like the young people say, in your feelings. I'm guessing that you're saying that when you're in your feelings, it gets you hurt. Or when you show or express your feelings, it gets you hurt. So I don't do it much. But my thing is that if you are getting hurt, then you're sharing them with the wrong people. Because if you're sharing your feelings and emotions with the right people, they will be celebrating your feelings, supporting your feelings. When I share my feelings with my friends, they don't hurt me, they support me. You know, even my most callous friend will try. My best buddy, my godfather, y'all know him, I talk about him all the time, he's an Aquarius. And he's not that great with feelings. Very emotionally awkward. But he even tries hard when I'm hurting. So people who care about you shouldn't hurt you while you're being vulnerable. They should support you while you're vulnerable. So that leads me to think these people are people you shouldn't be around. You need to switch up that circle, kick some people out the circle, you know, or dismantle the whole circle and get a new one. Because like I said, even my most hard-nosed friend will support me. He tries so hard to say things that are, you know, verbally supportive. He's like, you sure? And he'd be so uncomfortable. It's so funny, but he really tries hard. And he's like, maybe you should paint. Maybe you should journal. He'll start giving me all these ideas and saying all these things. He will just keep trying to hit something that I respond to. You know, and I really appreciate it, because that's what a real friend does. So Mary, I don't think these people are your real friends. They gotta go. Cut them like an afro. All right, guys, it's time for me to get going. So if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to get a reading done, please email me. See you later.